Oh. Okay. Hi. Hey there. How you doing? So just a quick bit coffee there, and I figured I would. Yes. So hi. For those of you who don't know, I'm Markus Pattern, a comic book artist who draws comics. The one that you can see on your screen right now. Here comes Dragon Punch, is my comic, which you can get either full issues plus some behind the scenes shenanigans at my Patreon, which I hope you link down below, or read for free on Webtoons, Substack, or ArtStation. So yeah, basically, what I'm doing at the moment right now is because I used to do a Substack letter, and it would take me about an hour to type it out and run it by my wife to make sure that all the edits were good and stuff. And I don't know, seems a bit of a long-winded way about doing this. And one of the things my wife said, like, it'd be better if you could get it to sound like your proper speaking voice, which I think I kind of did, but not quite so much. So I figured, well, might as well speak to you directly via the camera and tell you what I've been doing with my week and stuff, and what I'm going to be doing with my coming weeks, because I'm really bad at promotion. And yeah, one of the reasons why I'm doing it so early on a Friday morning is because essentially I work at this computer for 4 days a week, but then I have to go to work on Fridays and Sundays, and I work from 12 on Fridays, and it basically doesn't give me a lot of time to get a lot of stuff done. If I'm honest with you, like, it's just a small hour window, and I tend to find that, like, I get so engrossed in what I'm doing that I don't have time to get ready to go to work, pretty much. So I figured, but I use that time a bit more wisely, because I can't get any proper work done, not to the degree I want. This is I because my tablet is just there. It's shining up in my eye, so I might get I might do this without the glasses. Or I might get some prescription sunglasses. Who fucking knows? So yeah, I figured I would just tell you cats what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how for. So yeah. So again, yeah, that was a long rambling introduction as to why I'm talking to you now. Yeah. So I'm trying to set it up so I can both see myself, but also maybe see if anyone's coming on the stream, so I can see if there's any chats or whatnot. Because I'm old and I don't know how things work. So yeah, that might do. Okie dokie. Right, so no. So, for those of you who have seen me live streaming before, but without any sound, basically, it's because, or just lo-fi hip hop playing over, it's because essentially, I during the day, I am got my head down and I'm drawing and everything, and it's just really hard to come up with witty, urbane statements while basically doing work. And I don't want to waste your time trying to be funny and witty, urbane while trying to figure out how to draw say, August doing a dragon flame and knocking the shit out of Ruben. So I figured during the week, on the mornings and and in the evenings and the night times, I would just basically not. I would just sit down, listen to stick on some chill lo-fi hip hop, and just turn the microphone off, and then you can just see me draw. And then now would be the time if anyone saw that for, oh, I quite like I'd quite like to ask him some questions and stuff. Come along in the chat. Now would be the time where I would answer questions and I would chat and stuff. So every Friday about 10 o'clock for about half an hour to 40 minutes maybe, I'm going to sit down here, tell you about my day and how it was going and what was going and who was doing what and all that shit. Apparently, according to my phone, I am live on Twitch. So yeah. And also, I would attempt to, in between telling you my news, draw something. Hence the reason of having a small screen here and a screen here showing you my artwork. So, but like again, I can't. So like, I might do artwork depending on how this goes. It might just be case I just ramble for about 10 to 15, 20 minutes or so, telling you about my shit, and then I just bounce. Okay. Cool. Now that I've waffled for 6 minutes about nothing, I should probably get. So, what? So, what have I done this week? Well, I finished drawing. I finished inking issue 3 of Here Comes the Dragon Punch. I've now just got to color it and letter it, and then in theory that should be out. It should be out in about 2 weeks. So yeah, 2 weeks is enough time for me to basically get it all right, send it off to people so they can give it a quick read and see if they like it and stuff. So what I tend to do, the way I release it, is I release the full issue on my Patreon, where you get the full issue plus some behind the scenes shenanigans and stuff, like the cover making process, like. Thumbs and just generally like how I came about to create this issue, and yeah, and also if you go via the Patreon, you will be basically putting money towards the physical release, because my intention for terms of releasing is to basically take about 4 issues plus a little side story that I want to draw and release that as a physical tankobon style. And then as a physical tankobon, and then release it in one big go, because like there's not really much point in releasing, because the economics of it, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, like it's not prohibitively expensive to release this as a single issues, but it's also like, I don't know, a lot of room to have, a lot of stock to have lying around, especially if it doesn't go. Whereas like having 100 tankobons lying around not selling, terms of space, is better than having 400 single issues lying around not selling. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I should tell you what the story is about, shouldn't I? So essentially, Here Comes the Dragon Punch is a I'll just get it up and scroll through it. I should have prepared this better. So Here Comes the Dragon Punch is a kung fu parkour baking comic, in which essentially my 3 main characters, Ash, Omar, and August, discover their dragon flame and what it does and how to do it and stuff. So, in the first story, which is available up on both Webtoons and Gumroad, Webtoons and Patreon, you got Ash and Omar got a meeting for pizza. they spot a rival clan member being sneakative and scurrious, and goes in via a back door, and they go to check out what the dealio, because they're curious cats. And in it, they find a tournament in which they the Jacob clan is trying to progress. Members of it are trying to progress to the next belt and everything. And Ash and August are like, well, that sounds dope. We'll take part in it. And that's the first story of issue 1. And the second story is Omar. He is hunting down a relic that needs to be put in the correct hands, preferably his hands, and unfortunately for him, Eagle and Brian, the bad guy, have already captured the relic, and they are currently fighting over who gets to keep the relic. Omar sticks his oars in, gets in a proper fisticuffs with the Eagle. Brian escapes with the relic. In issue 2, which this is the cover for, is in which which Ash tries to figure out why Ur's teacher, Dr. Loomis, didn't teach them how to harness the dragon punch, the dragon flame, and everything, because the Jakob clan can. There you go. There it all is. That was worth fucking doing that. Yeah. So issue 2 is so Ash and discovers that Dr. Loomis has just not been teaching them because he's crooked, basically, and so Ash goes off to discover Ur's potential and become one with the flame and basically harness it. That's the first story, in which we run into Omar, who's doing some pretty fancy parkour maneuvers, having captured yet another relic, but not getting in a tussle with the Eagle this time. And in the second part of issue 2, August meets up with her girlfriend and has her first proper bout, in which she fights Claire up here, who does capoeira, which is fun to draw, so it's a mixture of kind of like a kung fu and capoeira, and like how does one combine the two and stuff, and like in a interesting fight maneuver, which I'm very certain I achieved, and which also brings August to the attention of Rosie here, who reluctantly takes August under her wing so she can help August progress and harness that raw talent into something that's workable. Issue 3, which I've just done, is basically like issue 3 and 4 are kind of like the same, story, but kind of split in two. So issue 1 and issue 2, in theory, you could kind of read on their own. They're kind of like, they're self-contained, but obviously they lead on to something else. But like in issue 2, issue 3 even, we have he's really small there. So August is basically not doing very well. Like, her unbridled talent means it's there, but she's also not there. It needs a bit more polish to her, polish and stuff. So she needs to essentially get herself taught, and I basically did the training montage that you get in movies, but in comic book form. So that's the first bit of the story, in which she goes from being like an unpolished diamond to a bit more of a rough and to much more of a ready, capable fighter, in which she goes off and faces off against should have said this like that. So she goes off and faces off against Reuben here, who is part of the Jakob clan from the first book. Basically, I've changed. I've kind of gone through the Dans in it and stuff. So like so essentially, if you at like level 5, which Reuben hit, if you're level 4, which Reuben here is, you get to take off the mask and just kind of personalize your garb a bit more. So hence the streamers and the luchador-esque face paint kind of thing, which I was quite happy with when I came up with the design. So August is going to be fighting against him, and in the other side story, Mikey, who we met in issue 2, is going to be fighting against Rivers, who is level 3 in the Yakuba clan. Mikey and Omar and Ash and a couple of other characters were under Dr. Loomis's dojo, and so in theory, Mikey is the tippity top of that dojo. But when he can't hold himself against a level 3 from the Yakuba thing, he's like, well, why can't I hold my own? I should be able to hold my own. I'm the best. And so issue 3 will be him fighting Rivers in an abandoned mall. Same with Ash and same with August and Reuben. Yeah, and that's issue 2. That's issue 3. With issue 3, I was trying for something slightly different. Like as you may or may not have gathered, I quite like cartoonist kayfabe, and I know that Ed Pisker's going to start doing that thing where like he's using the the panels in a Instagram feed, like you get with old school comic strips and stuff, where like you'd flick across. I thought, well, that'd be quite an interesting way to tackle a story, like basically draw the fight sequences so that so you slide across. So I was drawing the panels individually and stuff, like it's one big. When they're printed in the tangle bond, they'll be on the page and stuff, but like arranged. But like they're designed specifically for panels that you could scroll across as if you were using an Instagram story. And it's the first time I've ever done that. I normally work on a page, like which one is this corner? Show you. Like, this is how I normally work, right? Like, page. I use the. I probably should show you the fucking thing I use. So, the way I normally compose a page is I use the golden ratio, which is basically bring that up so we can all see it. Right. So what you do is this page was a bit of a motherfucker to draw as well, I'll be honest with you. This one took me a while to get fucking right. So I'm gonna lower the opacity on this. So you draw a rectangle, and then you divide it in half. You draw a circle, and you draw another circle, and then what they come across here, that's so half the dividing lines, and essentially my sweet little honeybees, these are the golden points where it intersects, and it's just generally more interesting to put things. So that's kind of how I compose a page, like on these bits here and everything, and it works well for a big page, but like on a and you can see the whole page. I can't really do it for like individual panels and stuff, so I tend to use a rule of thirds for that one. And for some reason, not composing the first 3 pages like this as a single panel, like going across, it just didn't sit right with me, and it took me so very very long, longer than it really should have done. So I'm not going to be doing that again. I mean, I'll kind of compose. I had, in theory, composed quite a bit of issue 4 that way, and I shan't. I had written a short little. I'd written a short 4 or 5 page little comic that was explicitly designed to only be on the Instagram slides and stuff. I won't be doing it that way. I will then be pivoting towards trying to compose it so it can go on the webtoons, because I'm drawing pages is what I'm used to doing, and I'm not really used to trying to compose for webtoons. So that'd be an interesting experiment. So that's the next thing. So basically, that's what I've done this week. I've after having to deal with the summer holidays, I finally got around. I've finished inking issue 3 of Here Comes the Dragon Punch. Again, I'm gonna color it next week. Hopefully letter it next week, and in about 2 weeks time after that, it will be then ready for release via webtoon. So it will be up on the Patreon first, and then I'll release it chapters on webtoons, Substack, and ArtStation, all of which will be linked down below. Or yeah. My aim was to basically, one of the reasons I was doing the single panels was because I was trying to figure how can I get this done quickly, so I can basically get 4 issues done within a really short amount of time that I can then basically go to print the tankobon, because I am exhibiting at Lakes Comic Book Festival, and when I like, after issue 2 came out, because I have enough time to basically cram this out, because like I had quite basically I things got in the way in between issue 2, and that stopped me from straight forward going into issue 3, and I basically didn't give myself enough time to do another 2 issues without rushing to get to the Lakes Comic Festival. But I thought I can do that, and then summer holidays came in, and I work at home. As you can probably tell, I have a little girl who needs more of my attention than I can really give her by sitting here ignoring her and drawing. So like I didn't. So yeah. So that was my aim. I'm not going to make it, but it's probably better, because it's probably better to take my time and put out a good product than a rush product, and the tankobon will just be a couple, about a month later than I initially intended, which not great, but like I think I might apply for the London Comic Festival thing, which is happening in November or some shit. I really should check out these things, so I could try and get it done for there. I don't know, who knows. So I am exhibiting at the Lakes International Comic Art Festival with my brother and my sister, who will be helping me out along the way. So the thing starts on the 29th. I am tabling from the 30th, and the 1st I will be at table 82. If you want to check on our socials, I'll basically be a bit more kind of like, here I am, here I go once again. So so to this I will be bringing along my Ashcan version of Here Comes the Dragon Punch, which is basically issue 1 plus parts of issue 2, because essentially you won't be able to tell, but this is I wanted to print it on uncoated paper, and to basically see how the paper bled through into the color, because I've been doing quite a lot of color experimentation on this, and I essentially want to see if the color looked right, and I want to see if the paper stock looked quite good, because like my mate released this on uncoated paper, Hocus Pocus, and it feels fucking amazing, as opposed to the coated paper that my mate Tom and that did American Sensational Elephant Man. This book feels great, but like it doesn't really have the feel of the comic that I was wanting to go for. So stop it down, because my last two comics I printed on that kind of paper, which is black and white, called 13 Shots of Whiskey, which will also be exhibiting at the art festival. So yeah, that's so I'm going to be taking my 3 comic books that I've got to sell. So like one of which is a western in which a guy called Willis Waterhouse gets shot and rides off into his last sunset, and we find out why he was shot and if he was deserving to be shot. And then also the second issue is called Burnt Ends, in which a private eye tries to discover, tries to prove that it was in fact not the Burnt Ends killer who murdered the mayor's mistress. It was him. And a neo-noir mystery. So those would be the and say obviously Here Comes the Dragon Punch, as well as a Not So Fair Fairy Tales anthology that I did way back, and it's just really weird to have like a artwork that I did about 3 years ago. Took 3 years to get to me because it's part of an anthology, and it's like see how like the difference between point A to point B and C and D is, so those would be things I'm taking along with prints. I'm going to be taking some prints, as well as some Pacific sticker design things. So essentially, trying to figure out what can I do to improve my my stall at the convention. And my sister was like, everyone likes stickers, you should do a sticker design, so that's basically what I'm doing now. So this is so basically it's a mixture of like kind of the zodiac star sign kind of things, in which I basically do half a face and a skull face and fuck with it. I quite like these are just preliminary sketches, but like I quite like this kind of thing, and this sort of thing. So some like kind of body horror plus zodiac stuff, plus some borders and stuff. So it will look like it's part of a set. And the idea is that you would get the stickers, which are be a bit more on a simplified kind of version of things, and then you would get the print, in which I'd go a bit more kind of intricate and ham, because it's a bigger bit of paper, so that will be the idea. So there'll be these series of prints that I will be doing at the festival as well. This was quite fun actually, just coming up with these ideas, and it's hopefully when I speak to you next week, I will, all things being considered, have definitely have the finished designs, and hopefully, if not have the finished product, I will have I will have ordered the stickers, and I might be able to show them to you, and I'll be able to let you know the plan for what I'm doing with them. I'm also cranking out some artwork. That's if you see me on the Twitch late at night, and you see me doing artwork, I'm basically doing artwork so I can take along some original artwork to sell at the lakes. So this is what I've got. So far, so So there's Ashitaka, Phoebe from Ghostbusters, and this alien piece from Aliens, I guess. Um, so the next piece I'm going to be doing will either be a Harley Quinn version or Worf cutting off the Ferengi's head, and I'm intending also to do like a fucked up John Constantine version. So yeah, I'll have some original artwork to sell at this place. I had some more, but I can't find it. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's what I've been basically doing my week. So finishing issue 3 of Here Comes the Dragon Punch, designing some stickers and prints to be sold specifically at the Lake Festival. Which, I mean, if they don't sell, I can always sell them on my Etsy, where you can get the physical prints of my comics. Apart from the not so fair fairy tales anthology, because like it's a big fucking book and I need to charge 40 quid for it at the least, and then considering how much that would cost in terms of postage, might be a bit of a piss take to charge. So yeah, I'm gonna figure that one out. So I've got, so you know, I guess I should finish with some business, do some business. So yes, Markus Pattern, comic book artist, a good one. I'll let history decide that. I'm available for work if you like what my drawings and stuff that you've seen all over the place. I'm could do with some paid work. That'd be lovely. If you don't want to pay me to draw a comic, I can draw I can do commissions and stuff. I'm not above that. It's very gracious of you, Marcus. Yeah. So prints and stuff will be available. Are currently available at my Etsy store, which is linked below. I've got a Patreon, and I do have a Ko-fi, but I don't really use it. If you're watching this on Twitch, I'm trying to get to I need to get to 50 followers, because I'm doing everything else. I'm creating enough. I'm creating enough to be affiliated, so I can maybe make a wee bit of money on that. So I can maybe continue doing this as opposed to having to go back to my regular job. I need to get to 50 followers so I can then, I guess, run ads and shit, which I might be irritating for you, but like I need to make some money at this. So if you follow me on Twitch, a follow on Twitch would be the sum of earthly bliss. If you're watching this on YouTube, I need to get to 1,000 followers before I even begin to be monetizing that. So like, yeah, I'm not so much worried about that at the moment. If you want to subscribe to me on YouTube, that'd be fantastic. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm Markus_Pattern_Draws. If you want to follow me on Patreon, I'm Markus_Pattern_Draws at Patreon and stuff. Basically, that's my whole thing. Markus_Pattern_Draws, so that you can find me. This is the first time I've done this kind of dead shoot interview where I chat shit to you for about half an hour. The second time around, I hopefully will have set something up where I can draw it just do a bit of drawing while talking to you. See how that one works out. This was my original intention to draw, but like I started talking too much, so I might just not. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do this and just have the shit that I want to show you up on screen beforehand. Figure out how it goes. So yeah. So I think that is going to be it for me at the moment in time. I live stream pretty much every day from about 10 to half 11 on a morning. The afternoons are a bit weird because my computer gets slow and laggy and stuff, so I might or might not stream during the afternoon. And then on of a night time from about 9:30 onwards. I set up my easel back there, and I draw like traditional with pens and pencils and stuff, because essentially it staring at this screen all the time can give me a migraine, and I need to basically not get ill. So yeah, I can't really figure out how, because I'm using the laptop over there because I want to be able to see on the screen. I can't really figure out how to press. I can't. The extension that OBS uses isn't letting me stream to both Twitch and to YouTube. So for the moment, it's just Twitch up on where I live stream of an evening, but I then upload the stream to YouTube the next day anyway, if I remember. So yeah. So basically, that's what I'm going to be doing next week. I'm going to be colouring issue 3. I'm going to be finishing off and hopefully ordering the print stickers for the Zodiacs, and yeah, I might even, if I feel so inclined, do a Judge Dredd 1-page profile page, because I probably should do more to add to my profile. Yeah, I think I've rambled enough. Hopefully this has been entertaining. If it hasn't, I'm sorry. I will do better next week. And if I don't do well that next week, I'll try and do better the week after. And the week after that, I will be at the lakes on a bus. So I'll be on a bus, so I can't really live stream and draw then. So I might do a pre-recorded thing for the week before the lakes, and we'll see how this goes. If this is not something anybody is interested in, then I won't fucking do it anymore. It's as simple as that, you know. Not to be yeah. Anyway, cool. Thank you for turning up. I've been Markus Pattern. You've been Classy San Diego. Bye bye.